Hello, hello! Here's another Battlefield 3 video from me. This is a full game this time, Capture the Flag, and it's on Nebandan Flats. And the reason I wanted to post this is because this match was insanely crazy. You know, there's always those people, especially the Call of Duty people, that say, but Battlefield is so slow paced and it's so boring and there's nothing going on, and that's why I hate it. And I think you know, it's just an excuse in my opinion. Because if they really ever have played this game, they would like not say that. I have been playing this game now over a year, and I probably have maybe 3 games or maybe 4 where it was slow, and it was because there was not enough people in it. But if the server is full, there is always chaos. There is so much going on, and of course, you know, when you're outside the map and you're like a sniper and you just sit on a hill, yeah, it's slow. You gotta go into the action. As you can see, I'm out here pretty much at the corner of the map. And it's pretty nice and quiet here, and you can stay here for a pretty long time and just sit and wait until something comes to you, but that's not how Battlefield is supposed to be played. And another thing is, you know, when Call of Duty people are like, oh, you know, I don't do well in this game and I don't know why, it's like, it's because they're trying to play this like Call of Duty or like Halo, and Call of Duty and Halo are arcade games, arcade shooters, and they're made for mostly kids and people who just want to like have a quick pick-me-up game, like a 5-10 minute pick-me-up game. Yes, with Battlefield there is some 10-minute matches, sure, but the good matches, they're longer. They're at least 20 minutes, and some people have insane tickets. They go like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I have to say, if I have the time, I love being in those really, really long matches, especially if the match is great. You just never want it to end. I mean, I hate when I'm actually in an amazing match and it's over and I'm like just in the middle of doing something great and it's like, oh really, does it have to be over? We just had such a fun time. And then a lot of times it's not like, oh yeah, the next match is then not necessarily the same. You know, you have like one match, we have a great time, and in the next match it turns and they swap team members a little bit around, and then all of a sudden it's like not going quite as good, and you don't have quite as much of a fun because you're not doing as well. So, you know, obviously if you're in a good match, you don't want it to end so quickly. Oh, that's at least me. That's how I feel. But as you can see here, we're defending our flag like crazy, and some people that don't really understand how Capture the Flag works, or maybe play this for the first time, they complain about it. They say, well, you know, I mean, people are camping on their base, and it's like, well, the way Capture the Flag works is like somebody needs to defend the flag, and it cannot be one person, because if the other team is really, really good and there's only one person defending the flag, that one person most likely will be shot if they come like 3 or 4 people come at him or her, and then they could take the flag and the base is not being defended. So, you know, I would say at least 2 or 3 people should be at the base, and ideally there should be a medic. So, you know, if one of them gets shot, they can revive each other and they can stay alive and keep defending the flag. That's how you're having success. Or if one of them gets shot, the other ones try to stay alive, defend the flag, and then the one that got shot can spawn on the team members. So this way you never really leave the base empty and unprotected. And in this case, this is exactly what I'm trying to do. You can see that those guys just... What's very, 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 very popular is that the enemy team is trying to set base in our base, and then while you like keep killing them, you know, you realize, you're like, God, I mean, there's constantly enemies in our base. I mean, how did they get here so quickly, and how can we not see them coming? It's because they have spawn beacons on your base and they keep respawning. So I hear that there's spawn beacons. There's a second one already I have to take out here. And obviously, you know, I hate that you can't shoot them. Anyway, you have to take them out so they cannot spawn here, and we actually have a fair chance of. I have to say, a lot of times when I'm feeling like, okay, I'm gonna get out of the base and, you know, maybe try go get the flag, it's like I cannot. I mean, this match was so crazy. I can't even like get out of the space because I was just like I can't leave because I have to defend the base. It's just crazy because those guys are just on us like crazy. But this is what's fun. This is what's so much fun. I mean, it's the insane action, that constant action, and when you have a great enemy, a good enemy team, or a great balance, you just have the best action. It's just like watching a really great action movie, and you're just right in the middle of it, and you know, you have control over how you want it to go, and that's really awesome. So we have to flag here, and I believe we cannot deposit the flag because, as you know, if you play capture the flag, your base, your own flag. See, the flag is not here. So we have to flag, but we cannot put it out, you know, deposit it. So basically what we have to do is we have to wait until the enemy loses our flag or deposits the flag at their base so we can then get our flag done. So obviously the enemy wants to keep us from putting the flag down. So let's see, we still don't have the flag. They have our flag. And the thing is, now that we could make the mistake that we're all just here defending and nobody's gonna get the flag, and so then they're gonna get the their flag deposit. See, here again, they're again spawning on our base, so it's just crazy. But anyway, they obviously keep our flag somewhere around their base, and we keep their flag somewhere around our base. So it's pretty balanced. We're equally fighting to get the flag. And I don't remember anymore how this went down, but you'll see here shortly. So I'm still trying to improve my taking down helicopters with the RPG. It's basically, for me, it's usually mostly like a lock game because it's much more fun to take a heli down with an RPG. It's much more satisfying because the heli doesn't know that because you're not locking on. There is no warning on the heli, and you can basically, I mean, if you're really good, you can take them down and they don't even see it coming. So if you're good at it, you have a much better chance to take down a heli with an RPG than with anything that locks on. And also another thing that a lot of people seem not to know is that you have the best chance to take a tank down from behind. It takes only 2 shots from behind, and I think it takes about 6 shots if you shoot them from the side, or 4, and 6 if you shoot them from the front. So best thing is to run around and get the tank from the back, from the rear. So that's not always possible, unfortunately, because a lot of times the tank sees you and the only option you have is stay where you are and make sure he can't get you, and it's always best behind some rocks, because anything that's not you know, like a building, or even a building, if the tank shoots it long enough, it shakes the whole building or whatever object you're behind it, and eventually just from that you die. You don't even have to actually be directly hit. So there is not a good protection. The best thing here, I feel like, to really get away from tanks or even snipers, is definitely the motorcycles. Even though the motorcycles are very vulnerable, the cool thing about the motorcycles, they're insanely fast and you can maneuver them crazy. I mean, you can go over jumps and ride it in a zigzag motion like a rabbit, and it's going to be really hard for anyone to follow you and shoot you. And I've always been able to get successfully away. The only time when it's harder to get away with the motorcycle is when a heli is trying to get you, because he's above you Even when you run zigzag, he can just kind of spray down on you and he'll have you. So here I got just hit by one of those new vehicles that are came up just in this DLC. And what I actually just recently found out that you can shoot people with it too. When I was using it, I didn't realize it, and I thought the only thing you can really shoot with it is tanks. I'm still not sure if you can shoot helis with it. I was not. It never lock on for me to heli, so I think it's like a javelin. It only locks on to ground vehicles. But with the second mode, you can actually just shoot down just anything, and I think that's probably how you can also take down helis. But again, you have to be accurate with it. Here, my attempt to fly a heli, not very good at taking down anything with helis. Very little success with it, but I keep, once in a while when I have a chance to fly a heli, I try because that's the only way you can really practice. I no longer have my server because, best way to practice anything in Battlefield 3 is to get your own server, and then you can just go crazy. You have the whole map for yourself and all the vehicles, and you can respawn as many times as you want, and you can try everything, and you're alone on it. There's no enemies, so there's no worries about getting shot. So that's really a really cool way to practice, and I think a lot of people actually take advantage of that, and that's why some of the people are just extremely good. It's not because they're just like naturally good, it's because they just practice a lot. It's always about how much you practice. You can get better at your accuracy too. You can get better at just anything if you practice enough, and that's another thing for me. I'm still not happy with my accuracy. I want to get better, and that's another reason I love Battlefield, because Battlefield, once you play Battlefield, because the weapons are so much more realistic and therefore harder to control, like a real weapon. When you then swap over to like arcade shooters, it's very, very easy for you to get kills, because the arcade shooters, the weapons are handling so much easier. I remember when I was playing Battlefield like crazy before Black Ops came out, played for months and months and months, and got really good at it. And then Black Ops came out, and I started to play Black Ops. It was just like, oh my god, there's no recoil. Oh my god, I just run, and everyone I shoot dies. It's like, wow. I don't remember that it was that easy, but anyway, so I totally enjoyed that. So whenever you have a shooter that's harder the weapons are harder to control, it will definitely benefit you, even if it's like frustrating at the beginning. Another shooter that I thought that's like an arcade shooter, but it's harder, where I thought the weapons handled a lot like Battlefield 3 is Crysis. So Crysis is another shooter that I felt was good practice to get used to different recoil patterns and weapons that were handling, they were difficult to handle, because it really gives you, every time you play different games, it gives you more of an advantage, of an edge, to be able to handle just anything. So that's why I think it's important that you don't just keep playing one and the same game over and over and over. I have to admit, I'm kind of guilty of, having played Call of Duty when I was new to the multiplayer scene, just Call of Duty, and that's all I played over and over and over and over for months and months and months and months and months and months. And I have to say, now that I'm a much more experienced multiplayer gamer, I just realized that it's more fun to play a lot of different games. But enough of me babbling away. I hope I didn't bore you, and I hope you enjoyed this action-packed gameplay. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.